I think that most people, unless they are diabetic or know somebody who's diabetic, most people just don't even understand what it's like living with this disease. In 2008, around Christmas time, I wasn't feeling very good at all. I was going to the bathroom all the time, I was drinking all the time, and I had like almost no appetite come Christmas time. I was losing all this weight. And so on December 26, 2008, the day after Christmas and the day right before my 14th birthday, we went to the doctor to see what was up. I can clearly remember that doctor coming in after seeing one of my urine samples and saying, "You have diabetes," and they sent us to the Children's Hospital that's downtown.
Probably my first reaction is relief. We were very afraid, knowing that Paige was sick, but not knowing what it was, and so finding out that it was diabetes is something that was manageable and treatable, and so I think I was very relieved.
And it gave immediate hope that we were going to be okay. And so it was like, I knew the seriousness of it. It was kind of a little bit overwhelming, knowing the seriousness of it, but a great blessing that we knew that it was going to be treatable.
It just didn't seem real that I had diabetes. It just wasn't real at all.
When I first heard it, I just thought I wasn't really sure about it, because I didn't think it would be as serious.
Those words, they changed my life forever. There's so much more entailed to controlling your type 1 diabetes than I ever knew before going into that hospital.
Not knowing what are we gonna have to do now, what's this gonna entail, how are we gonna be able to handle this.
It's definitely a disease that is a part of your life. It impacts your life every single day.
At first it was a little difficult, a little scary, but now that we've got it down, it's just a part of our routine, and it's just what we do. It's normal now.
I mean, you just have to incorporate it into your daily routine. You just make it a part of your life. It's a big part of your life, but you just make it a part of your life. The routine for every meal is this. First, I test my blood sugar. Then, I count how many carbs that I eat by meal and put it into a calculation to find out how much insulin I get. Then, I give myself an injection of the appropriate amount of insulin. So, let's get it clear. Type 1 diabetics, we do not have to watch what we eat. We just have to count it. We just have to balance the amount of carbs we eat with insulin. If I eat this many carbs, I just need to make sure I balance it out with this much insulin. It's not that I can only eat fruits and vegetables and I can't eat sugar. No, that's not true for type 1 diabetics. We can eat whatever we want in a meal, but we just have to balance out the number of carbohydrates, not sugars, carbohydrates that we eat with the amount of insulin we take.
It's definitely different than just regular, because it's just, you can't go up and say, "Here, you can have my piece of candy," or just because, you gotta inject and everything. It's just really different.
There's a whole lot more to this than I ever knew at all.
Another thing involved with diabetes, and type 1 especially, is watching your blood sugar. I mean, if your blood sugar goes too high or too low, it can be dangerous to your health, so you really have to try to keep it in range as best you can. I can feel myself when I go high. Usually I'm more irritable, hot, thirsty. When I go low, I'm more shaky, fatigued, don't really feel like doing anything. I can try to explain what it feels like to have high blood sugar and low blood sugar, but it's just something you have to experience for yourself to know how bad you feel. High blood sugar, you just take a little more insulin to try to bring it down, and with low blood sugar, if I feel low, I go and I test my blood sugar. If it is low, then I drink like 15 grams of Gatorade because it'll boost my blood sugar up. And 15 minutes later, I test again to make sure my blood sugar numbers are back in my normal range.
Paige is really very good at keeping track and managing it, very diligent about it, and that really makes it easier on me as a parent. But certainly it changes just a lot of the daily routine.
In addition to worrying about everything else that a teenage high school girl has to worry about, you gotta worry about diabetes on top of that. You gotta bring all your stuff, you gotta take your shot, you gotta worry about your blood sugars on top of everything else. So, it can be a pain in the butt, but you can live with it. It's a treatable disease. You just incorporate it into your daily routine and you can live with it, and it doesn't have to define who you are. When something bad happens to people, I think a lot of times they ask God, why? Why me? Thankfully, I personally haven't had to struggle with that too much with my diabetes, but a lot of people, ask God, why is this happening to me? Why is this happening to her? A good verse in the Bible can be found in the book of John after one of Jesus' dear friends has died and his disciples are sad and he's sad. But listen to what Jesus says. He says, "This sickness will not end in death. No, it is for God's glory, so that God's Son may be glorified through it." I can apply that in my life to my diabetes. God allowed me to have diabetes for a reason. And I've noticed since my diabetes, I've been able to use it to encourage lots of people. I've been able to speak to lots of people, talk to lots of people about it, encouraging and educating people through diabetes that I would have never been able to do without it.
Paige impacted a lot of people by speaking out about diabetes and showing that she's living her life.
Also, other people now that have had children that have been diagnosed have come to me and asked for input, and I've always, said, hey, we will pray for you through this.
God just really helps me through it, keeping my blood sugars in range, helping me to not get too down about it. God just really has helped me through it every step of the way and has used it every step of the way, and that's been really cool to see.
All throughout this, we've all been able to say, hey, this is just part of God's will. We don't fully understand it, and hopefully that's been a real positive thing in terms of our witness for the Lord.
Diabetes shouldn't prevent you from doing the stuff that you love to do. I'm still making great grades at school. I'm still close with my best friend. I go on vacations with my family. I play piano. I'm involved in the show choir, the junior varsity show choir at my high school. And right now I'm, preparing to take the SAT in a couple of months and starting to look at colleges.
She's going on and it's not slowing her down one bit.
God has a reason for whatever you're going through, and He's ultimately sovereign, and He knows what He's doing. I hope that you have a new appreciation for what these companies that make diabetic supplies and these companies that do diabetic research, I hope that now you can see just how important they are. I know that since my diagnosis, I've definitely seen it, I'm relying on that insulin pen to give me the right amount of insulin, and I'm relying on that blood sugar meter to give me my exact blood sugar as accurately as it can. Those companies that build the supplies, I'm literally relying on them with my life.
You save lives because they need to make the pen that they use every day.
I think it's important to support those organizations and make sure that they're up to par with everything, because there's people like me whose lives literally rely on what they do every single day. It's my life now. I live with my diabetes and incorporate it into my life, and it's not always fun, but I live with it.
It's really just a part of the rhythm of our family now.
It's just another part of our routine.
It's just an average part.
I just take encouragement from the verse in Philippians 4:13 that I can do everything through Him who gives me strength.